Although the very first electric guitar wasn't perfected until around the 1930s, many people, usually hobbyists, who messed around with electrical engineering in the 1910s and 1920s, were trying to figure a way how to amplify many different instruments. Not just guitars, but also violins and banjos as well. But in 1931, two men, George Beauchamp and Adolf Rickenbacker, found the perfect combination of an aluminum cast pickup. It wasn't much, but it was something. It was attached to a small maple body that looked exactly like a frying pan. And with their creativity, they came up with the name, the Frying Pan. They easily patented this guitar, as was the first of its kind. But another man, Orville Gibson, also in the 1930s, heard of this astounding invention. He was already an instrument maker, created banjos and mandolins and guitars. But he too wanted to create the electric guitar. So he came out with his own model, more stylish and more original, fit for the average blues player, called the ES-150 in 1936. Now that the first hollow body electric was created, we move onward to the creation of the first solid body electric. Many were trying to figure out who would do it first. Would it be Gibson? Would it be Rickenbacker? But there was a name that no one had heard of yet. One of Rickenbacker's close friends and electrical engineers, Leo Fender. Leo Fender had worked on designing amps, building them, and creating new concepts and designs for Rickenbacker for years. He too was interested in trying to create the first solid body electric guitar. So, in his garage in Fullerton, California, he mocked up a few prototypes, but one stood out above all. The Fender Esquire, which he had created in 1950, alone, with his own tools in his garage. All it was simple in design. Slab of wood with the neck, cut with some contours and curves. This would later be called the Fender Broadcaster, and then the Fender Telecaster. Afterwards, in 1954, Leo designed today's Stratocaster. It had a much more curved design, more contours, and built for more comfort and playability. Both guitars were very versatile. Telecaster had a nice, clean tone. The Stratocaster, on the other hand, could punch out what was early blues rock and rock and roll in itself. After Leo Fender had just designed the Telecaster and Stratocaster, many other guitar companies were in search of creating their own solid body guitar. One of these companies, Gibson Guitar Corporation, wanted to create this guitar. With their president, Ted McCarty, and jazz and blues musician Les Paul, they teamed up to create the Gibson Les Paul. The Gibson Les Paul was released in 1952. Many astounded by its creation. It was a fairly simple guitar, attracted many eyes and many musicians. The guitar was equipped with two P90 pickups, Gibson's own original pickups. No other company had access to these. But the Les Paul did not start taking off until 1957, where both Les Paul and Ted McCarty would come together again to design the innovative PAF humbucker. The PAF was simple in design, but that's all it needed. It was very versatile, which attracted many musicians from different genres around the world, including blues, hard rock, jazz, and other upcoming styles. Over the years, the Les Paul has taken on many new variations, attracting many around the world. It has taken on such models as the Les Paul Standard, the Les Paul Junior, Les Paul Traditional, the Les Paul Special, and the Les Paul Custom and Studio. Guitars are prized by many. Without the works of George Beauchamp, Leo Fender, Adolf Rickenbacker, Les Paul, Orville Gibson, and Ted McCarty, we would not have the blues, the jazz, and many other genres of today. They wouldn't be as innovative or as far expressive as they could be. Many artists cherish these guitars, and the 40s and 50s models are some of the most prized and valued of today. Without the works of these great gentlemen, we would not have the music we do today.